Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name's Amanda and I made some M&M chocolate chip cookies for my kids and my husband for Friday family movie night. Sadly, they are not gluten-free, but I do have a video of the exact same recipe that I used here using gluten-free flour that I can link in the description box down below. Let me show you everything that I'm using in this recipe. I'm using M&Ms with peanuts, regular M&Ms, chocolate chips, vanilla extract, brown sugar, baking soda, butter, 2 large eggs, baking powder, white sugar, all-purpose flour, salt. So let's go ahead and get started. You need 1 cup of softened room temperature butter. My butter was not soft enough, so I zapped mine in the microwave for a good 25 seconds, and I made sure that it was soft enough by taking my finger and pressing it in, and it was perfect. I do really like when butter is at room temperature. It works best that way. Add 1 cup of white sugar. Add 1 cup of light brown sugar. Now we're going to go ahead and cream together the butter and the sugars until they are nicely well combined. Softened room temperature butter does work the best, but sometimes when you are in a pinch, it's okay if you need to zap it just a little bit until it's soft. You don't want to make it where it's melted, but it still works. This cookie recipe is one of my family's favorites, and it's so amazing that I actually took it and made it into a gluten-free cookie as well, and just literally swapped out the all-purpose flour for gluten-free flour, and it works amazing. So if you're gluten-free and you really like cookies like I do and my family does, I mean, they are amazing gluten-free. Definitely check out the video on how I made them gluten-free because they are delicious. Now add 2 large eggs. Now add 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Now we can go ahead and mix that all together as well and mix until it's nicely combined. Now for our Friday family movie night, normally I try to make a dessert that we can all enjoy together, but I decided to go ahead and just make the cookies with wheat flour because I have a lot of wheat flour I need to use as well. But I had tons of homemade ice creams to choose from for myself, so I decided I was just going to have some ice cream and some M&Ms, and it was so tasty and yummy. You should check out my recipes for homemade ice cream if you love ice cream as well. And now add 3 cups of all-purpose flour. Add 1 teaspoon of baking soda, half a teaspoon of baking powder, and add 1 teaspoon of salt. Now mix all the dry ingredients into the wet ingredients until they are nicely combined and nice and smooth. Now, if you were going to make this recipe gluten-free, my favorite to use is the King Arthur's Baking Company gluten-free measure for measure flour, and it's great. I really love that one a lot. I like to get it from Walmart because the price is amazing. So definitely check out my video on how I make them. I am adding 1.5 cups of chocolate chips, half a cup of regular M&Ms, and now we're going to go ahead and mix these in. I'm not adding the M&M with peanuts until the end, until they are shaped into a ball. My kids sometimes love the M&Ms with the nuts and sometimes they don't, so I'd rather be on the safe side and just add those in at the end when they are nice and shaped into the ball and then just bake them. Now that's mixed, I'm going to go ahead and remove as much batter as possible as I can from the beaters. Now we're going to take a baking sheet lined with aluminum foil and we're going to spray it with some nonstick spray. You can use parchment paper too, that works perfectly fine. I just really honestly love using aluminum foil. And now here's the fun part. You can shape up the cookie doughs into any size you want to. These ones I'm making kind of large and small, so I'm just kind of having fun with it. But I suggest if you want to make them different sizes, make one batch all large and another batch all small, because that way you can bake them all at the same time. If you have different sizes on the cookie sheet, so you have some large and small, so your larger cookies would have to bake longer. And if you had a smaller cookie on there as well, then the smaller cookie would get overbaked. I will say the larger you make them, the more they do relax. And these ones do relax a lot because I really loaded it up with some chocolate chips and some M&Ms. And also I put more M&Ms on top of it too to really add some more yumminess to it. So just have fun with it. That's all that matters. And enjoy it too. This first batch here has all peanut M&Ms on top. These ones are now ready to go into the preheated oven of 375 degrees, and we're going to bake them between 8 to 10 minutes. And if you need to, because if you've made it a fairly large cookie, you can bake it for a good 12 minutes. These ones here are actually left in at 12 minutes because they were fairly large. Now we're going to go ahead and repeat those steps we just did and continue rolling some more cookies up. These cookies also freeze very nice as well. So when you are shaping them up into the cookie ball here, if you want to freeze them, this is when you would freeze it. You would take them and put them on a baking sheet lined with parchment paper and put them into your freezer, and it would be called a flash freeze until they're nice and solid, and then put them in a Ziploc bag, and you can keep it in your freezer for up to 3 months. Now this batch of cookies here has all regular M&Ms in it, and on top too. These ones are now ready to go into the oven. The first batch is done. I baked these for 12 minutes because these ones were fairly large. I know that my kids and husband are going to be so happy to have these. My kids did not know that I was making these until they got home from school, and they were so excited because it was Friday family movie night and having homemade cookies. I let the cookies cool for a good 5 minutes before I transferred them to the plate. Now you can use a cooling rack or a plate. I like using plates because I have a small kitchen, and so sometimes when I pull out my cookie racks, they take up space. And it does cool nicely on the cool plate, so you can either use a plate or a cookie rack. Either one works perfectly fine. I still have some more to roll up, which is nice about this cookie batter. It makes a lot, so if you do make them small, you have quite a few cookies. So this here made a total of 24 cookies. For the last batch of cookies, I did a mix of the peanut M&Ms and the regular M&Ms on top. And so for when baking these cookies, it literally takes 8 to 12 minutes depending on the size. So I always check first at the 8-minute mark to make sure that I'm not overcooking my cookie, because I love when my cookies are really nice and soft, especially when I make them gluten-free and I can really enjoy them. But also when making them too, just double check to make sure you're not over baking them. The second batch of cookies that went into the oven were smaller than the first one, so these ones only took a total of 10 minutes to bake in the oven. They look great. I'm going to let them cool for 5 minutes until I transfer them to the plate with the other cookies. The 5 minutes are up, and I'm now transferring the cookies to the plate. And if you can see in the bottom, I am stacking the cookies on top of the cookies so that way they can continue cooling and not break apart like if I leaned it slanted on the other cookie. So I'm stacking them on top of each other. It's my husband's day off, and he has been enjoying the smell of fresh baked cookies going on, and so he had to try it, and it was not completely cooled down, but he still enjoyed it. The last batch of cookies are done, and these took 12 minutes because they are fairly large, but they look amazing. They really, really do, and they smell so great. My husband now has had a few cookies and has enjoyed them a lot. I think he likes them when they come fresh out of the oven because he's been nibbling on them as soon as they come out, and they're so hot. But look how amazing and big that cookie looks. My kids are going to be so excited to see that. Now, when you're making your cookies larger, they will definitely relax. When you make the cookie dough smaller, it's going to be a beautiful, soft, thick, fluffy cookie. They are all unique and delicious in their own way, but if you like a specific kind where it's really nice, thick, and soft and fluffy, make the ball smaller. It is gorgeous and beautiful for a cookie, and you can see at the end of my video of it when I open one up that's a small. It's beautiful. If you're gluten-free, definitely check out my video on how I make them gluten-free because they are amazing. You will absolutely love them. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks. Take care, guys. Bye.